1776. It is the year in which the United States had a war for independence against England. Russia was as big as always, still is. The Chinese Qing Empire was also large and was consolidating power. You had a standard Austria, Commonwealth, Sweden, France, and Spain, and also the slave trade was going on from Africa to the colonies. Spain and Portugal were still strong and great colonial powers. Let's go and start with, usually I start with Europe, but this deserves all the attention in this year, 1776. The United States were at war with England. Now, for some reason, it says President James Norfolk, but let's see what can we do. Tag USA. So when we go here and select a general, we can see Anthony Wayne, George Washington, and other Benjamin Lincoln. So yeah, let's put George Washington and let's go back to observe mode. Observe. Now we have in the army George Washington, as it should be. So you can imagine how small the United States still was. It's basically the 13 colonies, and how large it is in the modern day. They were at war with, let me see, basically Great Britain and its colonies. And with a stack of 40k troops, it's actually crazy that they managed to win, because Britain had at least double the amount of army, excluding the colonies that helped Britain. So yeah, the United States, as we all know, eventually won that war, and from there they conquered the rest. Here we have the Oceania, which is a pretty famous Indian tribe. But you can see that, of course, there were people and tribes, but the United States throughout the years consolidated everything and managed to conquer all the way to modern day California, and of course Alaska, which was first colonized by Russia. We have Newfoundland, what would eventually become Canada, of course. Then we have Danish Greenland. We have Danish Iceland. And of course we have Denmark itself with modern day Norway. Then we have Great Britain, which I think during this time or shortly before was at its strongest. They held all of Ireland and Scotland and Wales and some other islands, but of course also its colonies, except for the United States, of course. And in India they held a lot of territory. Let's see, South Africa is still Dutch, but the Boers come from is holding also modern day Finland. We have Kurland over here. I do not know what that is. It's a duchy. Kurland. We have Prussia, which is becoming very strong, and I think after this there will also be a war between Prussia and Austria for the German lands and to become the true ruler of Germany, of course. Hanover is a interpersonal union with Great Britain. We have Cologne, Bavaria, Saxony. So, as you can see, Germany was for an extremely long time not one country. And here you can also see why the borders of World War I Germany went all the way up in modern day Poland. We have the Commonwealth over here, which is significantly weaker than it was years prior, because they basically got eaten up by Russia, Austria, and Prussia. We have the Netherlands, which are pretty strong actually, and they have elections, but Willem van Oranje was a king, so I'm not really sure how that went. I know it was a republic, of course. We have some small pieces of Prussia scattered throughout the modern day Germany. Same goes for Austria. They have lands over here. And it is ruled by Maria Theresia von Habsburg. So yeah, we have France, which is very strong. They even have Strasbourg and Sundgau. I think that this is German or Swiss land. We have Sardinia, Piedmont, which is like the northwestern part of Italy, and Sardinia. And this used to be Savoy in the earlier years. We have Genoa, which is very weak compared to what they used to be. We have Tuscany, which is now like a duchy or a city in Italy instead of being its own princedom. Then we have Modena, Parma, Austria holds land over here, like Milan is Austrian. We have a small country called Trent, and this area is disputed between Italy and Austria actually. A lot of Austrians live here. A nice soldier standing. Then we have Venice, which is actually pretty strong. They hold lands in modern day. I think this is either Montenegro or, yeah, this should be current day Montenegro. And let's see, we have Naples, the Papal State. Like, it's crazy that the United States existed and was fighting for independence, while also the Pope having such a vast amount of Italian land. And it was Pope Pius VI who was in Rome, being the Pope. Let me see how much lands France had. They actually didn't hold a lot. Okay, that's Aragon, but as you can see, the Pope still had some lands in Avignon. Then we have Spain, who are actually, let me see, they have a royal marriage with Portugal and Austria, and it's ruled by King Carl de Bourbon or King Carlos, and they have their colonies still. And let me see, they are very strong actually, with a big army, 82k, 108k. Yeah, Spain was, since they conquered everything in Iberia, very strong. But you can see here that Great Britain holds, I think this is Mallorca, and here they have Gibraltar. Then we have from Portugal, King Jose de Braganza, with their colony in Brazil, a little bit in Africa, and a little bit in India, and modern day Indonesia, I think, or Timor, East Timor. Then we have Morocco, and I do know that Spain has a lot of lands in northern Morocco currently, but those are like small pieces of land. But the rest is Algeria and Morocco. Then we have Algeria here. We have Kabylia, but they didn't last for too long, I guess. We have Tunisia or Tunis. We have Tripoli, which is actually a city now. And we have some small tribes, Mazab, Togur, Jerit, and Vezan. Let's go over here. We have Moldavia, Wallachia, and as you know, Wallachia, that's where Count Dracula is from. We have Montenegro, which is actually independent between Venice and the Ottomans, so they are surrounded. The Ottomans, pretty strong still, actually, if you ask me. This is before England and France take over parts of the Ottoman, Arabian and Egyptian lands. And actually, in not a very long time, Egypt will be ruled by I forgot his name, but he actually took over Egypt with an Albanian army and was a great rival of the Ottomans in the years to come. We have Hejaz, which is actually independent of the Ottomans, so Mecca is not anymore in control. We have Persia over here, pretty much weakened, and we have Persian Arabia. So yeah, we got Georgia, we got Imereti, Shirvan, and we have Armenia, which is actually Sunni Muslim or Sultan. Yeah, so Armenia is ruled by a Sunni Muslim Sultan. We got Tabriz, and we have Marrakech, and over here we have Ardalan, which is actually Kurdish, I think. I think they are Kurdish. Let me see if I can check the culture. Okay, here it says Azerbaijani, so, or maybe, yeah, culture Iranian Kurdish, it says. Yeah, in Middle Africa we have jollof. I think that's also a type of food, jollof, like jollof rice or something like that. And some smaller tribes, I guess. That's also the reason why it it was pretty easy for the Western powers. Like you can see Denmark over here, Netherlands. It was pretty easy with their technology and everything to take over Africa and carve it up because they were so divided. And if we look at, let me see if I can find the religious map mode. Here it is. Yeah, a lot of Muslims, Coptic, and fetishists. Over here we have Kazakh, Khiva, Bukhara, Afghanistan. Afghanistan is, I think this is Afghanistan at its strongest and largest. Well, I don't know if it's strongest, but I do know that it's at its largest when it comes to area. We have Balochistan. We have Marathas, Nagpur. We have British Bengal, which is actually the largest part of modern day India, ruled by the Brits, and years to come, almost everything will fall under the Brits. We have the Netherlands, having this island over here, which isn't this like Sri Lanka? The Maldives are also held by the Netherlands. We got Taungu, which I've never heard of before. We got Vientiane. Well, this is Vietnam, Dai Viet, so I don't know where this is from. We got Ayutthaya, which was actually very strong, and I like the elephant, and also the helmet, or if you can call it a helmet. Here there's a rebellion going on in Vietnam, and this is a unique hat he's wearing. Oh, and here we got an elephant. Nice. Then we have Joho, some other smaller tribes, which made it easy for the Netherlands to take over. We got the Spanish Moluccas. We have King or Jing and Zhang, and they were pretty strong, 148k troops, with only Portugal having a piece of land over here. But hard times were to come with the European powers taking lands and meddling. Here we have Korea, which is still one piece of land, and Japan, which is mostly taken over by Tokugawa shogunate, which is pretty crazy because I guess the rest, even if they would combine their forces, it wouldn't be enough to take on Tokugawa. And they actually have these, I think it's something like Kirillin Isles, which is modern day Russia as far as I remember. And Russia hasn't taken over these native council. It's the Shureni. Okay. And as we can see, Australia is still not Australia. But we have these tribes, and it's still uncolonized. I wonder in which year Australia was colonized, because it's 1776 and still no European power. And the same goes, oh wait, let me see, what is this? Okay. Same goes for New Zealand. Yeah, it's all tribes. And over here we have Hawaii, which is a tribal kingdom still, and they are animist. So that's it for the world in the year 1776, in which the most recognizable thing for this year was the independence war of the United States against Great Britain. And the United States, as far as my knowledge goes, was also helped a lot by France, and they provided like weapons and money as far as my memory goes. But Great Britain was still very strong. If you like the video and like my videos, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it does support my channel. So if you like it, you can subscribe. And as always, I wish you guys the best. Have a good day and have a good life. Bye bye. Through this way, I would like to give a special thanks to Phil at Excelsior7